Hello everyone, this is the Magic Master, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I've made this a habit now. I have to go back to the start screen after every episode now because I've done it twice, so now it's just forever going to be habit to open on the screen. If you don't know what this is, basically we are a defense attorney currently, well, we're not. We're a university student currently defending ourselves because the person who is supposed to be our defense attorney is our friend, and if they lose this case, they're not going to get to go to England, and they want to go to England. It's a whole thing. Anyway, we have no idea what we're doing, and we're trying to defend ourselves against accusations of murder. That's where we're at. Let's carry on, shall we? And we're about to do the first cross-examination. So if you didn't see the last episode, we got the witness testimony, and this is the cross-examination. Let's see how it goes. All right then, it's all or nothing. Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. I am not going to read this second time out loud because I did it the first time and it hurts to read too much. So what we have to do is, how do I find, what is the court record button? It's E. Yeah, it's E. Okay, so what information do we have that we can try and use to disprove whatever they say? We have a university collar pin, proof that they're a student at the university, which isn't really helpful to us right now, I don't think. We have the post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. A photographic print shows the victim. He was shot from the front and subsequently died. Can we get a closer look at that photo? Yes, we can. There's stake in the background there, but there isn't any other people, so we can't immediately go, no wait, clearly there was other people there. But we have a magnifying glass. Ooh, that's kind of fun. I like that. Okay. And then we have this map. The head waiter's card. A sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back. Let's look at this. I don't think I need the magnifying glass here. Kitchen's over here. The entrance is here. We've got the seat here. This is where the guy who was killed, presumably, which means we must be like, we're okay. Okay, let's read what we've got. He was ingesting a regulation beef steak. I don't think there's any reason to believe that they weren't eating steak. That would be a weird thing to lie about. This guy was doing that. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. They observed the enemy's actions with their own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. From the back. That we might be able to challenge, because I think, if I pull up the court record again, these are different controls to the other game, and it's messing with my head. We can see that he was shot in the front, right? So let's try that and see if it works. Present. Yes! Yes! I like that he raises his hand every time. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. An inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. Tisk, what nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the grand courtroom. Arrgh, this is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be any more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, What? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photography. At the photo. It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print present. Why can't I say photographic? At the photographic print presented by the defense, that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime of military grade eyes, sir. Yes. Yes. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it back down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable, sir. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharged, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Aisa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Oh, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. Oh, whoopsie, I accidentally pulled up the transcript. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Damn, turning it back around on him. Oh, we got an achievement. For having successfully presented evidence during the first cross-examination. We did it! I imagine there'll probably be a fair few more of those before the end of the game, but hey, you made it through one. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet, there! He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. Yes! But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Nope, that was not the right voice. Treasure? Indeed. The Hoira Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Razutai. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you? On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I preferred my Hoi treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It had simply vanished. The Coban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy caban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. Also looking very suspicious. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Tisha, worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as clerical glasses, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir! Awaiting signal to testify, sir! Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir! Name, Ido. It would seem those straps were a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido! Teenshin! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Witness testimony. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing, sir. Yes. Pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that lanyard in the back. That much I myself did see. I haven't got a voice for him, so his voice changes every line. Furthermore, sir, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present, sir. Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman, sir. Over and out. These testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her. Objection. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Oh. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Sorry, I'm drinking water. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Counsel? Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. Arg, this doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. The new photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. A bottle of carbonated water and steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I... Take-Chuchi Ouchi will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires as an honor. That's not how you say your name, I'm so sorry. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth, in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood? Tisk. Rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Here we go. Cross-examination. The true culprit. Okay, let's see what evidence we have, shall we? Can we see any discrepancies between this photo and the other photo? I only see the one place set there. And I only see the one place set here. So not really. Unless it's like number of flowers, 3 flowers, we can't see the flowers in that one at all. Okay, well, let's go back. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much myself did see. That did happen. We know that happened. A visible search of the premise at the time confirmed that they were the only personnel present. Alone, he was the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. I mean, you guys could have, but I don't really know how to prove that. I feel like it has to be in this photo somewhere. But I'm not seeing what the problem is. Fork on the left. A fork on the left. Glass, flower vase. Yeah, that all checks out. What about the map? Does it match with the map? think so. Because if that's where he is, that table is over to the... I mean, it kind of makes it seem like he's on this table, which feels weird, because I thought this implied he was on this table. But I don't really feel like that's right. Maybe we'll try it. We'll save first and try it, because I don't know what else is wrong, but it doesn't feel right to me. Let's just save here. I know we're at time, but we're gonna keep going because we're about to present evidence anyway, so we might as well move on from this part. Oh, okay, I guess we get more dialogue. My bad. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Oh... What's the matter? I can't find anything. I can't find a clear discrepancy anywhere. I'm done for. I can't win this trial. No, 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 no. Oh, that was the wrong person. No, 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 no. Listen, the first thing to do is calm down. You can't expect witness statements to be full of holes every time. So just take your time and try to tease more information out of them first. Okay, good, we can press them. That'll make this easier. What do you mean? You can choose to either press or present against each of the witness's statements. If a witness is saying something you're suspicious about, press him on it with Q. With a little luck, you might get more details, which could prove to be crucial. Right, I see. The important point is, there's no sense in holding back. If anything even slightly jars with you, press the witnesses on it, and press them hard. Alright, got it. I'll press them like blocks of tofu. The professor wasn't alone in the restaurant, I'm sure of it. And one way or another, this cross-examination is going to prove I'm right. It's time to press them for all they're worth. My fate depends on it. Okay, I'm gonna probably press everything, but I'm gonna start with when they said they were eating alone, because that's the part that he is very adamantly against. Yes! You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. Objection! As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Ugh. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time. Then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly. 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Had a clinic? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th of November, noon to past 1 p.m. Huh, the very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? I'm so sorry, your name did not work that time. Ryunosuke, the hell? I know I can say his name now, because I've spent... Okay, 1 second. Ryunosuke, there we go. Literally, okay, I don't know why that failed. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence? Yes, you should. Yes! Yes! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. Objection! Whether or not they're of concern is for us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Tisk. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. The victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurakuda-san. Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Okay, let's take a look-see at that medical record. Okay, I was hoping it was going to let us read it, but it actually doesn't. So right now I don't think I can use it for anything. Let's press that. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. I don't know what happened to his voice, it's completely changed. A meal for one. I think what's happening is my voice is getting tired, and it's no longer doing the old thing, and it's doing whatever this is instead. No! The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have no idea. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out, sir! Okay, can we point out that, like, you guys could have? Why aren't you telling the truth? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Rinosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yeah, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, this is a brand new piece of evidence, so perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? I tried that, Kazuma. I was told I wasn't allowed to do that. You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. Those are the ones you can examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use the arrow keys to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using WAS and D, you can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press space to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. You need to use the arrow keys, WAS and D, and space to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. Okay, let's see what this is. There's his name. It says Hada Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics, almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I'd ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Brr, I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is the clinic where they treat people for illness like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Is this the same thing I just read, or is it different? Okay, this is the same thing I just read. Whoopsie. I'll skip through all this. What about this? It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean? As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege, all when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient, with a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Well, I got an achievement for examining this thing thoroughly. Can we open it? We can open it. Let's look at this one, because it's the most recent one. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before this incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yeah, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. Oh, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Now that we can use. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated in the court record. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time to listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely! Okay, let's find the right statement, because it's not this one. Not this one. Okay, I want to go back. Damn it, why won't it let me go back? Okay, no thank you. Okay, autoplay off. I just want to skip past this, please. We do have what we need. I know. There is a discrepancy somewhere? The victim had been heard from consuming anything but water when he was shot. I know, just... I know, just let me present, please. Always keep your eye on the progress of the battle. That's the only sure way to win. Okay, excellent, okay. Okay, I need the he was dining by himself thing because that is what was useful. Here. Present.
Yes!
Yes! Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer. I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Rinosuke, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korakuda-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up. Objection! Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 in the afternoon. The victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. Grr, but that's, Remember, Rinosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could have... This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? Whoa, that outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted? What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while the anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't... Korakuda-san. What, boy, what? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more? You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Grrr. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Arr! Expertly done, partner. Objection! What is this nonsense? You little upstart. These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. Objection! Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? Why is it? There we go. I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Rinosuke? Yes, most definitely. Oh, well, the game did a freeze. Come on. There we go. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat, which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright. The answer to this is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... me. No, an as yet unknown third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. Objection! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. Yes, there was. I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. Brrr. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair trial, relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand. Ugh. What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury? And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Hold it! Negative, sir! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korakuda-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now, hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? Grrr. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean... You saw the victim with a lady from overseas? You know, at that twist, which isn't really a twist, we knew it was coming, but that's where we're going to stop for the day, because we're at 45 minutes. Next time, we will figure out who the mystery of this lady was. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, Team Challenge.